In the name of God, my name is Mina Ahmadi. I'm a researcher at National Fish Processing Technology Research Center from Iran. The subject of my article is about fish waste, fish processing plant for compost production. Fish processing waste also have a high potential for compost production due to their richness in organic compounds. Fish waste is used as organic fertilizer, nutrients for agricultural purposes or as a renewable source. Fish waste has been proven to be an organic fertilizer and nutrient for both agricultural uses and soil strengthening is useful. Composting is a biological process that takes place under aerobic conditions in the presence of oxygen. The final pH of the compost is strongly influenced by the organic matter, the decomposition stage of the compost, and the increase of the modifiers. A large amount of salt in compost affects seed germination and root health. Compost produced using fish waste and by examining the electrical conductively pH and carbon nitrogen ratio can be used as organic fertilizer. Disposal of fish waste causes environmental problems and the disposal process is also problematic. New technologies must be a way to use and improve this waste and turn it into organic matter, provide usable before disposal and to reduce contamination. Fish waste is biodegradable organic waste. The waste generated through processing of fish, crab, and shrimp amounted to 30 to 60%, 75 to 85%, to 80% respectively. The selection of fish waste as raw material composting is not without resource. This is due to fish, including food that is easily decomposed, so that the remaining ingredients in the form of fish head, fish meat fragments, fish entrails, fish fins, and tails, if not handled carefully, will cause a strong stench. The stench will invite many flies and can cause various diseases. The importance of fish compost, it is economical, fairly odorless, biological beneficial practice for seafood operations. Composting resolves the disposal problem and produce a valuable product, a humus-like material that has several marketable use from soil conditioner to horticultural grow medium. It decreases the potential for surface and groundwater contamination. Composting destroys disease-causing organisms and fly larvae. Compared to other disposal options, composting is not a costly method of fish waste disposal. Composting results open and in the indigenous population of microorganisms from the environment and is carried out with the help of many organic materials fairly odorless. Microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, and actinomycetes account for most of the decomposition that takes place in a compost pile. The amount of waste, byproduct, and implicit fishing depends on several transient factors, including fish species, size, season, method of fishing, processing method, local regulations, and market. There are various factors that affect the composting processes and determine the level biological activities. The main factors are moisture, pH, carbon-nitrogen ratio, oxygen, and temperature. When composting such waste as fish parts, the fish waste is mixed with the plant waste like wood chips, leaves, bark, branches, peat, or even sawdust. As microorganisms break the fish down, they generate lots of heat, which serves to pasteurize the resulting fish compost, in turn eliminating any odor and killing disease organisms and with seeds. After several months, the resultant product is rich humus loaded as a nutrient, wealthy fertilizer for soil amendment. Composting fish does not need to be a complex operation. The basic requirements for composition of composting fish are a source of carbon and nitrogen, which is where the fish scraps come into play. A simple recipe is 3 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. Other integral factors for composting fish are water and air, about 60% water to 20% oxygen, so aeration is necessary. A pH of 6 to 8.5 is needed. A temperature of 130 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit during the decomposition process, at least 130 degrees Fahrenheit for these successive days to kill any pathogens. The compost pile will cool to the ambient temperature after several weeks, and when this occurs, the compost is ready. Before constructing a fish waste composting facility, location of the site, management of surface runoff, leachate, moisture, odor, and dust should be considered. The main cause of odor from fish waste composting facilities is anaerobic condition within compost heaps. Under anaerobic conditions, the main gas generated from composting is odorless carbon dioxide. Under anaerobic conditions, odors, gases, organic sulfides, and volatile fatty acid are produced. Odor management therefore requires that aerobic conditions be maintained by regularly turning the compost heap or using ventilation structures. Odor can be further reduced by maintaining an appropriate ratio of carbon to nitrogen in the compost heap. This means using an appropriate amount of sawdust relative to the amount of fish processing waste, and is discussed later in this document. In the end, it can be said as a result that animal byproducts of the fish industry, half-dead fish, our products derived from the processing of fish or consumption purposes can be applied in agriculture and gardening as fertilizer. Upon having first been subjected to proper processing, they can be composted and used along with other organic materials. Thanks for your attention.